It's the women in basketball talk. Let's go. Shot calling, the shots falling. My crossover leaves the ops crawling. The fans are in awe cause my handles are awesome. If you don't think I'm ballin', then hand me the ball then. Her story will make history. Watch the long shot hit the three, guaranteed victory. You might wanna stick with me, headed for the goal. If you roll, set a pick for me. It's the women in basketball talk. Tune in, all facts, no cap. We could talk about stats. It's the women in basketball talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, yeah.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Women in Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty. In today's episode, we will dive into players who got drafted in the WNBA but didn't make their team's roster. Then we'll look into Kyrie Irving's discussion on the future of the WNBA. And later, we will chat with former WNBA player Andrea Riley. Did you know that several WNBA players got drafted in the league but didn't make their team's roster due to limited roster space? Yes, you heard correctly. Imagine watching a WNBA draft on TV or in person with your family, hear your name get called by the WNBA president as one of the draft picks, go to training camp, and get cut from the team you got drafted by 2 weeks later due to limited roster space. That's what happened to several WNBA prospects. In 2021, 16 out of 36 WNBA draftees were waived before the season began, and 6 more draftees were released after the season started. One of those players was Trinity Baptiste. Trinity was drafted by the Indiana Fevers as the 24th overall pick in 2021, but got cut 2 weeks later during training camp. Chelsea Perry was also drafted by the Indiana Fevers in 2021, and although she made it through training camp, she later got cut. Perry didn't let getting cut discourage her. She stayed in shape and got another shot a month after getting cut. More to the story, if you're a WNBA prospect, stay ready so you don't have to get ready when the opportunity comes. In other news, NBA guard Kyrie Irving expressed in a post-game press conference that he is certain changes coming this upcoming WNBA season. The WNBA currently has a rule that states WNBA teams are prohibited from traveling by charter flights and can be fined if they're caught doing so. WNBA players also have to play overseas after the season because they make more money overseas than they do in the WNBA. Kyrie believes these rules will soon change once the NBA get involved. Here's what he had to say.
I mean, as one of the vice presidents in the BPA, we've discussed, all a range of these things, and I wish it was as easy as getting it tomorrow. But business takes a little bit of patience, and our W ladies have been as patient long enough, so we definitely got to get something done. And I'm with them, no matter how much it costs, per se. I think we could all collectively come together and make something very doable happen. And we just want to have our ladies have peace of mind while they're playing. They don't need to be overseas all the time. They need to be here playing in front of their families every single day doing what we do. So I think it's a lesson learned right now of how we can attack this as a family, because W in the NBA, we're a family. And I think things will be figured out before the season gets started. So I'm very optimistic about that. So shout out to the ladies for stepping up. I mean, they have an unbelievable regime and team, and they work sometimes better than us. So I love them.
It doesn't come as a surprise that Kyrie is willing to help the WNBA because in 2020, he donated $1.5 million to help cover salaries of WNBA players who sat out during the global pandemic. Not sure when change will happen, but with an advocate like Kyrie on the WNBA side, it's going to happen soon. Only time will tell. In our next segment, we're going to chop it up with 3-time Hall of Famer, entrepreneur, and former WNBA player Andrea Riley. So stay tuned.
I'm Andrea Riley, and you're listening to Let's Talk Women in Basketball Podcast.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Women in Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty.
Our next guest proves that size means nothing when it comes to dominating the game of basketball. She's a three-time Hall of Famer. She was the first Oklahoma State player to be selected in the WNBA draft, where she was picked 8th overall by the Los Angeles Sparks in 2010. And she's a sharpshooter. Let's welcome Andrea Riley to Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Hi, Andrea. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. How's the new year treating you so far?
It's treating me well. It's starting off a little slow sometimes, bills and stuff. but
I understand.
that's just life stuff. But overall, I'm blessed.
Yes, definitely. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Well, my New Year resolution is just to continue to grow every day, getting closer to God, and just understanding, putting that in my daily bread, and doing that is really crucial. I think people don't understand it helps you and guides you through your day, because so many things can happen through the day. So, just letting God prepare me for what's coming each day. That's what I want to focus on.
Wow, that's a great New Year's resolution. That's actually mine as well. I kind of slack on, you know how you're supposed to meditate on your word day and night. So I always meditate on my word at night and not the day. So I have to learn to do both. So that's a really good New Year's resolution. What inspires you to play basketball?
So what inspired me most to play basketball, just from being in the environment. I believe that it just became a part of me. I always seen it, like when I was, when my daddy was coaching girls. So he had an AAU team. He had a couple teams. So he started with just women. When I was a baby, like he only was doing the women's league. So I was just watching and being around it. And once I picked up a ball, it's like I never put it down, really.
Oh, wow. What was it like having your dad as your coach? Because that seems tough to have your father as your coach. What was that like?
Well, it was tough at times, just because, you want your dad to sometimes just be your dad sometimes. But at the end of the day, with him being my biggest critic, it made me understand and respect everything he said, because he one who really introduced me to basketball, even though my mom, of course, was involved with all my success as well. But like my dad really he stayed on me. Like he always made me want to do better. And that was the biggest thing that, I appreciated from him.
Wow. Shout out to your pops. And I'm a huge Cowboys fan. I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard that your dad is actually the bodyguard for Jerry Jones. How's that like, having a father be a bodyguard for an NFL owner? What's that like?
I mean, it's pretty cool. You get to see, him in action. You get to see how he is at work. So that's one thing that was different for me, because I was so used to seeing him coaching. So with him being, in the manager position, like he was the owner and the security, like the VIP security. So he was the head of the snake, basically. So with that, like, it just showed me how, because how he started, like he started being just a regular security guard. So like they never thought that he would, even be able to meet Jerry Jones. So for him to get that type of job is really a blessing. And just him getting to know the family and stuff. So it's a lot of things, but he just stayed busy. That's the biggest thing, is just always busy. Like, having that type of job, working for Jerry Jones is tough, but at the same time, you're learning so much.
Yes, definitely. So after high school, you got recruited and you went to Oklahoma State University. What made you pick Oklahoma State? Because I heard that Pat Summitt even recruited you or tried to recruit you. What made you decide Oklahoma?
So what's funny is that I committed to University of Miami actually at first.
Wow.
And yeah, so but for some reason, like, once I talked to one of the coaches on Oklahoma State staff, it just made me feel like, they were a little bit more family oriented than University of Miami. And it's not to discredit Miami, but that's a far place to go, you know, right from Texas, like, and being close to my family all the time. So I feel like, you know, it would be easier for them to come see me play and be a part of my journey, you know, because Florida's far from Texas.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Also in college, you played an incredible game. One game, you scored 40 points and had 0 turnovers. Now, not too many people can say they hit 40 points and had 0 turnovers. You may hit 40 points, but you ain't gonna have no 0 turnovers. And
Yeah.
so, do you recall your pregame ritual that day? Because you were on fire.
I mean, honestly, like that what the goal was, just to win. Like we honestly just wanted to win. We knew that like prior to that, they had a wrestling match and they invited us to, like, at halftime throw balls out and stuff, and they let me speak on the microphone. So I was like, okay. So when I spoke on the microphone, I told them, you know, if you guys come out and support us and sell out Gallagher Island, we're gonna beat OU. And so at the moment, I definitely believed it, but until it comes true, you know, you really don't know what you're saying. You kind of going off of adrenaline and confidence. So that was my thing, is just going off of that. And once we win the game, I mean, the pregame speech was crazy. Coach Bucky, he got us so fired up. So, you know, knowing that your coaching staff believes in you, knowing that everybody believes in each other, we knew we was going to win the game.
Wow. Yeah, you played an amazing.
Atmosphere was crazy.
Yeah.
Atmosphere was crazy, man. Like that, for them to sell it out for women at Oklahoma State was huge.
Wow. After college, you got drafted in 2010 by the Los Angeles Sparks. I read an article stating that just because a player get drafted, it doesn't necessarily guarantee their spot on the team. So after you got drafted and you went to training camp, did you have to fight for a spot on the Los Angeles Sparks, or did you have a secure spot on the team?
So technically, like, if you thinking about it, if you think about the draft, you think, oh, top 10, you should automatically be in, but you definitely are still fighting for a spot. Like, you definitely have to earn it. Like, you can't go into training camp thinking, oh, like, I've been drafted high, so I can kind of be lackadaisical. Like, no, like, they give you that. I mean, they called me in the last day. I'm thinking I'm going home, but it's like, congratulations, you know, you made it. But it was a big deal, you know, being in there with veterans like a Candace, like a Tina Thompson, like a Delisha Milton, so, and Betty Lennox. So it was a lot of different veterans who are big names, you know, in the WNBA history. So with going in there, like, I had to understand, you know, they knew me probably, but they didn't really care, because at the end of the day, they are all winners and competitors too. So you got to go in there and earn your stripes.
Yes, definitely. There are many talented players who dream of playing in the WNBA, but didn't get the opportunity due to limited roster space. What advice would you give to young ladies who are listening, whose dream is to play in the WNBA, but they did not get the opportunity yet due to the limited roster space?
So that's a big thing, and one of the biggest issues for the WNBA, because we honestly need more teams, because we need more opportunities for young women coming up, for the veterans that a lot of people just see play overseas. They want to see play in the States. So, you know, the advice I would give is just understanding that you can go overseas and play. There are always other options that you can do, and also, you know, build your brand within basketball, you know, and wait your turn. Like, that's the hardest thing too, is waiting your turn. Like, you know, I think there's a rookie, or she was a rookie this past season. Her name is Rebecca something for Chicago. And she's a 30-something-year-old rookie. But a lot of people wouldn't.
I think I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, but a lot of people, she's been playing overseas for years. So, like, that's the thing, is just, you know, you never know who's watching. Like, playing overseas can help you with getting that experience in the pro basketball world, because just because you didn't make the WNBA doesn't mean you're one of the greatest. It just means it's a limited amount of space, of course, but it's like placement. You know, that's another issue, is placement. But you know, just understanding your journey.
Yes. what state do you see? What state do you think will be a great state that the WNBA could expand to?
That is such a good question. But I would say like a Tennessee,
Yeah,
like a Alabama, like somewhere that they don't have a choice but to come and watch
yeah,
sports. You get what I'm saying? Like it's we don't have a pro team here, so or like somewhere where they love women's basketball.
mm-hmm.
Like there's of course there's like a couple well there's the New York team and stuff like that, but like it's San Antonio. I don't even know. San Antonio, Houston was a great place.
Yeah, it really was.
I wish that they never got rid of Houston.
Yeah,
But it is what it is. But I can't think of a lot off the top of my head, but I just would say basketball states, like
yeah,
go places to where they really cherish us.
yeah. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you could give an advice to the WNBA commissioner on how to expose the WNBA more, what do you think the WNBA commissioner could do to bring exposure to the sport so that players could make more money?
I honestly think it's all about the marketing tactic. I think they need to team with the NBA players. Like we need to have more commercials and stuff like we used to when I was younger, and I was seeing the Cynthia Cooper with some actresses. Plus, she was around, Cheryl Swoops around Michael all the time. So it's just things like that. Like the girls need to be around the Ja Morants, the Jokic's, the Lucas, like a lot of the stars, the Stephs. Like we need more interaction in that world to where they'll watch. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll want to come out and come see this. They'll want to, like, it won't seem so ungenuine from the NBA players, because honestly, like they only can do so much because they have a job, so like they have a job most of the year, and a lot of girls only have jobs in the summer, or they only have jobs in the fall. So like just being able to build a better marketing plan, because I feel like if they love the NCAA, they will love the WNBA, but it has to be more consistent, and you just need to go with what's working, what's hot. Like go with the young actresses. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of different things that they could do just to get the WNBA out there more, to where they're interacting with the people who have eyes on them.
Yeah, they really have to come up with something, because some college players are now making more money
way
than
more
WNBA players. So it's
man,
it should
that's
be the other way
embarrassing.
around.
It's honestly embarrassing. Like, and it's nothing against the NCAA, because I honestly, I feel like I want my back paid, because because we couldn't get that money, and plenty of people asked for autographs and asked for merch, and ain't no telling how much money I made Oklahoma State. And that's not in a selfish way. It's just saying, just like these college kids now, like they go 1 year and they're making a certain amount of money in the NIL. Like some people, like all the Texas Tech players got 25,000. Like these are walk-ons. All of them got 25,000. So it's like that type of stuff is just like, wow, like the limited, like unlimited opportunities. Like if I was in this world today, ain't no way I will be a millionaire by the time I get to the WNBA, because it's all profit now.
It sure is. It sure is. Do you think that players will lose their motivation to play by them making money at that young age? Because, college players are known for having that drive because they're trying to make it in the WNBA. But now they don't really have to have that drive because they're already making the money. So do you think that them gaining money early will cause them to lose that drive? Or do you think
that's actually like a really good question, because me and my dad was talking about that a little bit. Like he was like, a lot of these kids are just they're gonna lose that want to because of the money, and they know that once you get to the WNBA, you're not gonna make as much as you did when you was in college. So you might as well go do something else or get into marketing and branding. But I'm hoping that it gives them a comfort to play hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're already getting paid, so why not just give your all? Like, I mean, you was giving your all for free just a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? So like, just make people understanding that the value of the dollar is cool, but at the same time, like, you gotta love basketball. You really do.
Yes. Can you talk about the evolution of the WNBA? Like, how did it evolve from when you was playing?
So I think that a lot of the girls are a little bit more athletic, because I done seen a lot of girls coming up that's dunking. I seen some high school girls that are dunking. So just me seeing at the athleticism and seeing that girls want to shoot the ball more, as far as getting some more range and getting, like, talking noise and stuff. Like, I like that, but I think that the season needs to be longer. Like, I just honestly feel that way. I feel like it don't necessarily have to be, how many games the NBA is, but at the same time, it's like, we need more of playing in the States. Like, we need to not have, I mean, think about all that stuff with Brittany. Like, she would have never been in a position if she didn't have to go over there. So like, that's true. The biggest thing is, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to go and play overseas. But if it was up to us, we would never go. Like me, I was okay with stop going. Like, it wasn't it wasn't a want to for me. It was a need to. Like, I had to survive. I had to make sure my baby was eating and all that type of stuff. But like, just understanding that, like, and having more girls just go at each other. Like, that's what the WNBA got to be. Like, just more competitive. Like, be as competitive as you would be in a one-on-one game. I feel like that's what people want to see. People want to see girls that can really hoop. Like, they love it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I saw clips of you recently playing basketball. You still got it. You're still young. Do you think you would ever go back to the WNBA? Because you still got it now. I think you should. I think you should definitely go back.
Man, like, I get that a lot. And like, the thing is that, of course, like, the politics of the WNBA is something that's another subject. But just, if it's for me, it's for me. It's in my journey. It's in my journey. Like, God gonna do whatever He gonna do with me. Like, we have one right here in the backyard in Arlington, and I mean, I've been going to UTA practice, so you never know, but they have this AU Pro Sports down here. I'm heard about that, because I'm just like, man, like, it's in Dallas. I'm from Dallas. A lot of people will come watch with them knowing that, I'm playing. But, it's just speaking it into existence, or understanding the journey of what God wants. Like, of course, I can say I want this or I want that, or I still gotta, I do. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna, like, lose the love. I don't think I'm ever gonna honestly lose my talent until I'm, like, old. But even then, I'm still gonna be able to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but just understanding that, and just trusting God.
That's how. That's true. God is the best story writer. So I hope that He has it written in your journey. But if not, I know God has bigger and better plans for you as well. Is there anything that you would like to promote that you have going on now?
Well, I have my podcast. It's once a week. The days kind of switch up because it depends on the guests. My guests be a little high maintenance or whatever. But I have it on every week on Instagram Live. I think it's Andrea Riley Inc. _ is my username, I believe.
Okay.
And I also I partner with Fan Art, which sells merch. So my link is in my bio. Okay. I believe it's in my bio on my Facebook as well. My Facebook is Riley. So, just being able to get that out there. And I love the podcast thing. Like, I love this, like, it gives you a chance to get to know people and, get people's stories out there. And that's the biggest thing, I'm trying to build, is just hearing my story, of course, but like hearing other people's stories and being so and growing from that. You just never know what you're gonna get out of guests. Like, so I'm definitely excited how far like Andrea Riley podcast, how it's gonna go and everything. Right now it's just on Instagram Live because I want to build a bigger following.
True.
Because
yes,
I mean you got more patience than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's for now. But
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna grow. I've been interviewing a couple people, which is from high school students to college kids, and then I'm gonna have a prep coach, like a prep school coach. Like, so it's gonna be like I'm gonna continue to try my hardest to get like high maintenance people who are the people that people love on social media. Like that's the biggest thing. Like, but I also like it's a type of guest I want too. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm real picky about who I really want. So just understanding that and just being patient and letting God guide me, like, because I feel like my future is in media. I just don't know exactly where it's gonna go, but I just want to learn. I want to learn like the ins and outs of media. Like I feel like it's just now coming on, but for some reason like that, it's just naturally coming to me.
Yes, I can definitely see you in media. When you finish playing in the WNBA, do the WNBA offer programs to players that will guide them to their next step?
Honestly, no.
Honestly, because I know the NBA do.
Well, so I think the NBA, just because they have a bigger budget, they have a way bigger teams, they have, I think the bigger budget makes it so much easier for them to be able to, get the right marketing, get the right social media managers, get the right everything. So
yes,
that's the biggest thing. And then, I want people to understand, like, stop trying to get it to where it's equal to me. It's never gonna be like that. Like it's never gonna be like that. They're never gonna give us the exact same budget as a man because they make more money than us. They bring in more money than us. But that's not to say that we don't deserve just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they really don't provide those programs, but I really think it's because of the budget. I feel like and also like I feel like they need to put it in the front office as far as them reaching out to ex-players and former players and trying to get us to, be around a little bit more because we all need to support as well. Like we need to support as much as we want to get support from people. So that's the biggest thing.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much, Andrea Riley, for joining Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. It's an honor to have you on the show. I'm a huge Los Angeles Sparks fan, so I saw you get drafted and all. I watched every game. I look forward to seeing more from you in the future, and I would definitely be tuning into your podcast as well.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's it for Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Catch you next time.